Hello, welcome to Duck Productions. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to use iMovie. Okay, so iMovie is a very it's like a starter editing software. So iMovie has its limitations, but when used right, it can be it can do some it can create some quality content. So, so when we open up iMovie, it'll come up with this page. Now, this page is all of our projects. Um, ignore, 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 ignore those other projects. Okay, so to create our first project, we want to create a new project. So on the left side, there's gonna be a big plus sign that says create new. So you're gonna click on that. If you wanted to make a trailer, iMovie gives you a template so you can follow it, and it's really easy to make. But we're just gonna try and make just a regular movie. Let's go through all the wait, first let's import a video. So to import media into our projects, all we have to do is go to File on the top left of the screen, go to Import Media, and it'll take you to your files. So, for example, our bunny, which we already have, you just click on the file that you have and press Import Selected, and it'll go into your media. Now, I already have it there, so it didn't pop up. But let's say we want to import another one. So, let's import... So we're going to import this video of the squirrel chirping. So import selected, and as you can see, it goes into here. So in order to get your videos that you just imported into your timeline, which is this area down here, this is where you'll be editing all your clips. This is where you'll be putting them together. This is where you'll be adding transitions. So all you have to do is drag and drop your video into the timeline, and there you go. Now your bunny, or whatever you imported, is now in your timeline, and you're free to split it up and do whatever you want with it. So let's also import our squirrel chirping. Right, we can listen to it right here. All you have to do is press the space bar to play it. And there you have it. That's your bunny. You also have the squirrel. That's a cute squirrel. Okay, anyway, so let's say we don't... Okay, so this was a screen recording caught off of YouTube. So let's say we want to make this zoomed in, because obviously we don't want the bottom part of this, like this area here. Okay, so on the top right of where your video is showing is all your tools up here. So up here, this is where your where your filters are, where your cropping is, where all your volume is. So if in order to get rid of this area right here, all this bottom part, all you want to do is hover over the cropping symbol on the top right. It'll if you hover over it, it'll display as cropping. You press it. Okay, when you click on cropping, it'll default to fit, and you don't want that. You want it to crop to fill because you want to have what you want. So as you can see, when I press crop to fill and drag the box that comes up onto where I want it, it'll cut out all of this as soon as it does it. So if I press play now the whole bunny's showing everything. The squirrel. Okay, your squirrel is in place. That's a beautiful squirrel. Okay, so at the end here, you can see me drag up the the control center on iPhone. So we want to take that out. So how do we split it up, you say? So what we have to do is split the clip. On MacBook, what you want to do is press the touch bar with 2 fingers. On a regular Mac computer, what you want to do is right click on your clip. And right here, you'll have a bunch of different options. So what we want to do right here is split the clip. Now there's a shortcut for that so you can get faster at it instead of having to right click. But just for now, get used to double tapping not double tapping, putting 2 fingers on your touchpad and pressing it. So right here we want to split it. And there you go. Okay, so now the area where the control center pops up has now been split from the original video. So we don't want this anymore because we can't do anything to fix that. So all we have to do is select your clip, press on your space bar, press on your touch bar, and now you have the option to cut, copy, or delete it. So what you want to do is just delete it. And there you go. Now you just have the squirrel, a zoomed in picture of the squirrel without the bottom. That's a beautiful squirrel. Okay. So, now that you know how to put clips together on the timeline, and okay, now okay, so now that you know how to put clips on the timeline, how to split clips on the timeline, and how to zoom in on the timeline, we're going to move into some more advanced parts of editing. So those are just the basis of what you need to know to start your journey on your video editing, whatever. So first what we want to do is add a transition. You see how when we go from the bunny clip to the squirrel clip, it's a straight jump. Okay, as you notice, from the bunny clip to the squirrel clip, it's a very fast jump cut. Now we don't want that, watch. Okay, so we don't want that. We want it to transition to something nice. So if we go onto the top of the screen, right here where it says media, audio, titles, and backgrounds and transitions, we want to click on transitions, obviously. And on transitions, so on our transitions page, we have a bunch of different transitions that we can use. Now, I would not use any of these, like this entire middle section. I'd say the best transitions to use are the cross dissolve, the cross blur, the fade to black or white, and the cross zoom and the ripple, because these seem more, they're more animated and they're more wow, they don't, it doesn't slide in like this will feel like a PowerPoint if you use these middle ones. Now you can use these ones and they will look nice, but what you really want to use is one of the nicer ones like the cross blur. So let's add in a cross blur transition. So to add in a cross blur transition, all we have to do is drag and place into our timeline. Now we want to place it between our bunny and squirrel clips because that's where it will transition. So if we place it right in the middle there, you can see as we play the video, our transition is in place. And there you have it. You've just successfully added in a transition. Again, these are all beginner tactics. It's not something crazy. So let's say we want to add a filter to our video. So if we want to make our squirrel look, let's say we want this squirrel to look dramatic and we want it to look really cool and nice. So for example, we're going to select the clip, go back to remember when we were cropping. So another one of these tools is the filter. So right here where my cursor is the filters. It looks like 3 little dots. If you click it, you have a clip filter and audio effect. So we don't want an audio effect. We just want a clip filter. So we're going to choose one. So over here, we have many different types of filters that we can put over our video. So we wanted a black and white. So here's black and white filter. Here's a noir filter. There's a silent era filter that looks really nice. I think we should add that one in. There's a camo filter. There's a duotone filter. There's a bunch of different filters that you can add to make your video look more dramatic and just overall better. So let's use a silent era filter. And now, when we click on silent era, now silent era has been added into our squirrel clip. Look at that. Look at that. Look how it was before, look how it is now. Before it was a jump cut, it was ugly. And now it's like a beautiful production of a beautiful squirrel. That's just a beautiful squirrel. Okay. So, now that that is done, now that you know how to add clip filters, let's try to add in some audio effects. So right here, where it has clip filter, next to it is the audio effect. So if we click on audio effect, we have a bunch of different audio effects. Now, these won't work well in the squirrel because this is more for people. So let's add in a clip of someone talking. So I'll be right back. Okay, so here's a clip for our drugs are bad bro video. So let's say we want to add an audio transition to, an audio effect to this clip. So you can hear the original. She says, "Do you want a cigarette?" But it's kind of quiet. So what can we make, and what effect can we give that to make it sound more like, let's say we want to make her sound a little bit more alien-like. So let's use the Cosmo, the cosmic audio effect. And now let's see how she sounds like. Oh. Yes, that sounds beautiful. So now we have our 3 clips. Our bunny clip, our transition, our squirrel clip, and our do you want a cigarette clip. That's obviously a fake cigarette, by the way. That's a glue stick with orange painted all. Okay, so let's add another transition to the middle of these 2 clips. So let's add a ripple effect to the middle of the squirrel clip and the cigarette clip. Awesome. That was awesome. So obviously none of these clips go together, but you can start making your own clips once you figure out how to do all this. So, yeah.